And in all honesty, if I want to keep healthy hair, it starts at the scalp. But I'm never taking the time to really get into my scalp. I'm doing my hair a disservice, and it will start showing me that it's going to be limp, it's going to be unmoisturized, it's going to be brittle. It's going to show me, hey, excuse me, Alicia, you're not taking care of me, and I need you to, you know, give me more time. It was just God ordained for that moment to show me more appreciation for my hair, and to know what to do and how to steward my hair and give it its best foot forward. The only reason why I haven't locked yet is because I just enjoy the versatility that I have. Yeah, so yeah. Cool. One day I will lock.
The decision to go natural. What was your hair like before that led to that decision?
Okay. So my hair was very brittle, and I had always, well, not always. So when I was younger, my mom would straighten my hair with I was about to say a flat iron, and that is not correct. She used a straightening comb on the stove, heated up and everything. And I always had really thick, kind of frizzy hair. And that was just my hair texture. A lot of people talk about frizziness being a moisture thing. It's not necessarily my case. Like, my hair is naturally frizzy. And no matter what products I use, it will always be frizzy. That is its texture. That is what it likes to do. And I'm growing accustomed to letting it do that. But so it became too much to tame by just leaving it natural. So my mom began to relax my hair when I was a teenager. Perfectly fine. It worked for a while, but I was going to professionals that would over process my hair because of its tendency to be frizzy. And they would be like, but it's not going straight. And so even every professional that I've gone to, they would have to relax my hair and then use heat to make it straight. And of course, it would only stay straight if it was gelled down and hard. Because as soon as it felt moisture, throw it up. Throw it up. Frizz it up. And so that had been my daily struggle, was to keep my hair straight, because that's what the customs were for our culture. Well, anyway, that went on for years of my hair breaking off and trying to grow it back and keeping it relaxed and trying to grow it back and cutting it and getting, it went on for years. And by the time I got to college, it was so bad that my hair was just breaking off no matter what I did. And I even went to your mother. She's a cosmetologist, amen. But anyway, so I went to her as my last straw. I said, this is it. And even she told me, she said, I can tell your hair's been over processed. I can tell there's a lot of issues there. And she said, but, I think we'll be okay if you just come to me regularly and we just do haircuts regularly and get your trims and things of that nature. And I tried it. My hair continued to break off. And I said, I'm done, because the chemicals aren't helping. And it's very obvious my hair doesn't like the chemicals. And so I grew it out for about a year, wearing wigs and braiding it up and things of that nature. And because I didn't feel like I could do the big chop. My head is too big. Anyway. So I finally went to a woman who helped me cut off all the rest of the perm. And then I began to wear it natural. And that was about 2009. So, but yeah. So that was the state of my hair prior. Like, it just was not conforming to chemical life anymore. And I decided to let it stay unconformed.
So that's when you started to embrace the frizzy that you call.
Yes.
Okay. So did you have any fears or insecurities coming up during that time?
Oh yes.
Tell me about those.
during that time, I was living in St. Joseph, where they were still very behind in the culture. And I literally witnessed another one of my friends who had been natural at least a year longer than me. And a guy like made fun of her on social media and said, look at the, he said very negative, horrible things. And it like even pinned me even more. I was like, well, I don't want them talking about me. Like,
yeah, right.
Not to laugh about it, because it was real pain. It was a horrible mocking situation and bullying situation that occurred. And we spoke out against it, even in person. We said, you will not talk about her hair. Her hair is gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's in twists right now. Just because you don't understand why her hair is in twists, that's none of your business. But I did notice that she changed after that. Like, she stopped putting her hair in big twists. She started putting her hair in small twists. And when she wore it out. And I was like, see, that's not fair to you. Because in all honesty, your hair is gorgeous no matter what style it's in. And we would tell her that all the time. And I think she's grown past it now, but it was just a point that I recognized that her behavior changed. And even though she said it didn't bother her, I know it did. It bothered me, and I was just her friend.
Right.
So, and it kept me, it literally kept me in a place of fear with going natural. So I continued to wear wigs. I continued to braid my hair up for a while, even after a point that my hair was long enough to big chop it, just because I didn't want the ridicule either.
Right.
And the wigs was horrible, Rah. The wigs was horrible, but I was still wearing them.
So is that a new problem, a new struggle that you had with your natural hair, like the wigs and all that? Was that common?
So now I have a different relationship with wigs. Like, now my relationship with wigs is that I wear them typically in the wintertime when I really need to put my hair away and it's just faster. I'll just twist my hair up or braid my hair up underneath the wig. And then, it's, people love it when I wear wigs. And I'm like, yeah, okay, thanks. Like, it's a wig. but I've grown to have a better relationship with wigs instead of hiding my hair. I mean, I have so much hair now, like it's a shame to hide it. But covering it up, or doing the protective styles that need to happen when the weather is more brittle, then that's what I do. That's the relationship I have now with covering it up.
Okay. So you've grown to that place. So when you first started using them, you were using them to hide your hair, but now you're using them strategically because you know your hair. Got it.
Exactly.
So going back to this time where you, before, like right around the time you went natural, right? Was there any dread or fear about going natural? I mean, was there anything holding you back from doing that? Or was it an easy, like, okay, I'm gonna do this. Let's do it and move on.
Oh yeah, it was, the dread was related to knowing what my hair needed and making the switches to the new techniques, because that was the other thing that kept me from going natural, was that it takes more time. I was accustomed to washing my hair, letting it air dry or drying it, and it was done in an hour, right? Washing it, condition it, be done in about an hour. But with natural, that hour turns into 3. It turns into multiple steps, and making sure that you've done all the steps to let your hair adhere to what you're trying to get done, which is cleanse it and then add moisture back. And so that was very much in the beginning something I really didn't know what I was doing, and I would just sleep on my hair and it would be matted, and I would throw water in it the next day. I did these I call them wash and goes, but they were really not wash and goes. They were it was wet your hair and then add stuff to it to make it kind of curl up. And then the same process again the next day because your hair is still dry. And then I switched to, oh, well, I'll just use, you know, a conditioner in the shower. And at least that'll help my strands kind of, you know, elongate a little bit. But then once again, I'm sleeping on it. So then the next day I'm having the same problem again. And but it's a technique that I had to. I joked with my sister yesterday. I told her, I said, I went back to the old ways of washing and going. And she said, oh no. But she said, well, at least you got some moisture into it. I said, yeah. And I put in some leave-in conditioner, added some oil to kind of seal it a little bit, and voila, today it's kind of together. Just kind of. But you know, it's a process, and you know, it was something that I had to learn even for myself. What products work great for my hair? What products are stripping my hair even more because it's already dry, and are not actually cleansing or helping my process. I had to learn to detangle because that was something I just did not understand. I was like, what? So not only is my hair prone to frizziness, it's also prone to tangling on itself because it's so coily. And even though I have very soft, somewhat manageable natural hair, there are things that I've had to learn for my hair type, right, and texture that maybe someone else doesn't have to deal with. And so that was the other thing that made me reluctant. I mean, several times after I went natural, I was like, man, forget that. I'm putting the creamy crack back in. But I had to, like, I know that there were people along my journey that were brought to my life to encourage me to embrace what I was given. And those talks and those encouragement and that encouragement that I received are what have made me a successful natural today. Seriously. But yeah.
So do you want to say more about that and those relationships, or?
Sure. So I'll say one of my first really good relationships with my natural hair was with the woman who cut off the old strands that were permed, the relaxed hair. She'd been a natural for I don't know how long, and even her whole entire family were locked. Like she was locked. I mean, she had a little toddler that was locked. Like she was, you know, really into it. Which nothing against it, but I needed to see that, right? Like I had never seen successful African Americans be locked in the Midwest, right? And a whole family be locked and their hair be long, and you know, and it was still beautiful, and you know, all the things. To me, that was roughish, you know, what am I trying to say? It was like the Jamaican, right? Rasta, right? Exactly. Or like the Jamaican look, or you know, like that's that's a bit much. We don't do that here. I was removed from it, and not understanding that that's still a part of my culture. I just had never experienced it. So having a healthy relationship with her was really good for me. Now, obviously, I did not decide to lock, and especially not under her care, but that was okay, because I had a conversation with the same friend who talked to me and was like, "Now I've done my research, Alicia, and she's okay, but she's probably not the best." And I said, "Oh, okay, never mind then." But I went to her a couple times to have my hair styled, and she always did a wonderful job. You know, and then later, I met another stylist who had locked her daughter's hair, and her daughter had thick hair like mine, and very, you know, we have very similar texture. And I loved her daughter's locks. Like her daughter's locks were gorgeous, and they're of the mini side, or sister like locks.
Or micro, or micro, or whatever.
Right, or micro, exactly. Micro locks. And she was just so confident as like an 11-year-old with her hair locked in an area like St. Joseph, where people were just not into this kind of natural hair and culture. So But anyway, so she was someone who styled my hair a few times as well. And, and then I moved on or found another person who I had to actually go into a salon. But she was the first person to actually
Uh-oh.
and she loved styling natural hair. She loved doing all the things. Oh, did you lose me for a minute?
Okay.
There we go. Sorry. Chromebooks.
Okay.
Was that better?
Yeah, it just cut out a little bit, but okay.
Okay. Hopefully that'll
So
help.
the stylist in the salon was the first person
Stylist in the
to.
salon. Oh yeah. So she was the first person to color my hair. And she gave me highlights because I was scared to do full color. And so but she was the first person to highlight my hair. And I experienced a lot of my natural journey in St. Joseph and fighting to find someone to work on my hair and all of that. And she did a great job of styling my hair as well, and then coloring it, and my hair taking the color and showing me the, different things that I could do. And even then I would be like, man, you see that frizzy part? Pull it out. And she'd be like, your hair is gorgeous. Stop. I need it to be frizzy right there. That's the look I want. And I'm like, girl, no, absolutely not. And so, and so there were things that she would say to me that as a professional, I'm looking at her going, wow, I guess I've been looking at my hair the wrong way. And I'm not accepting who my hair is, or what it is. Right. And I just, that started changing my perspective that no, you're not going to have hair like your friends. Okay. And I need you to embrace what God has given you, because your hair is gorgeous. And no matter what, once again, no matter what hairstyle you decide to wear, it's still beautiful. And that was something that I fully had to embrace. But yeah, and those relationships helped me get there.
Do you still have contact with those relationships, or is it something that was there for a season in your life and helped you to get to where you are?
All of those people were there for seasons in my life, and I don't have contact with them anymore. But yeah.
Yeah. So they're instrumental. Wow.
Right.
Yes. So would you say that, well, I guess at what point did you learn what your hair needs? Because it sounds like you knew that from the beginning, from early on, even when you were getting relaxers, that your hair was prone to, like you said, frizziness, but is also didn't want to be straightened.
Right.
Chemicals, right?
Right.
So I guess kind of walk me through like your being able to be able to spot and say, this is what my hair needs, this is what's happening with it right now, like that kind of understanding and ownership relationship, or stewardship even.
Right. Stewardship is probably the word. So my biggest struggle has been products. Because a lot of the products that were on the market, especially when I became a natural, were not for probably my texture. They were, for looser textures and probably high porosity hair, and so I had to learn what my porosity was, which I learned that I was low porosity, which basically means that your hair takes longer to add moisture back into it. It's a process. Like you have to really wet it, let the water steam into your hair,
the follicles.
Right. Yeah. Open your follicles, right? That's the number one issue. Open your follicles. And so a lot of times what I learned is that I just wasn't spending enough time pre-wetting my hair or setting or letting my hair get wet, right? I thought my hair was wet. It was not. I thought I was washing out all the shampoo. I was not. I thought that, I was doing what I needed to do in order for my hair to thrive, and I wasn't. And so even then I experienced breakage and having issues even as a natural, just because I didn't have the right products. So I was failing at step one. Now it has taken me a long journey to get to the right products. Okay. And even then I'm still learning what works best with my hair. a lot of times I can't even go with what's on the market or fully go with what's on the market.
Yeah.
Like I make my own deep conditioner because it's the only deep conditioner that really helps my hair. Like anything that's pre-made on the market just doesn't do it for me.
Right.
And when I do deep condition, like it hasn't been deep conditioned in a while, and she's probably like, yeah, girl. Anyway, while you talking about deep conditioner, I need it now. Anyway, but yeah, I've always told people my hair has its own personality, and she'll definitely let you know in a second.
Does she have a name?
I haven't named her, no, but I just, she has a she personality. So, very, very her-like. Anyway, her pronouns are she and her. Right. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm done.
Okay.
But, I've always made my own deep conditioner, and, and actually, that wasn't always. That was something that I started doing maybe about 5 years ago, because I just started recognizing that it was what worked for me. And I actually equate deep conditioning my hair to putting creamy crack in it. Like, like the manageability. Sorry, it's more, but it deals with the manageability and the way that my hair reacts to it, and how it just, in a way, tames the curls. In a way that nothing else works, right? And so the first time that this was my best friend that showed me this, because she has 4 beautiful girls, and she had to do all their heads and her own. And so is that correct? She has 3 beautiful girls, and including her own head to do.
That's 4
heads, right? And so but it was something she showed me, and she was like, this is what I do. We make our own conditioner to save money, because we're trying to, make our everything stretch. And I've got so many heads to do, and her daughters have long, beautiful hair, and it's equated to how she has managed and taken care of their hair. But anyway, I've been staying with them for, a couple months, and she said, you've got to try this deep conditioner. I said, really, girl? Where'd you get it? She said, I made it. I said, okay, well, it's time to wash my hair. And she's like, okay, I'll make you some. She made me some. I put it on my hair, and the way my hair soaked in that conditioner, and the way I was able to detangle my hair afterwards, and how it just was manageable, it was a godsend for my life. And another relationship that I'm still connected to, but another relationship where it was just God ordained for that moment, to show me more appreciation for my hair, and to know what to do and how to steward. I love that word. How to steward my hair and give it its best foot forward, right? So that was something else that's one of the things that products is another way that I learned to steward my hair well. Another thing is making the time and taking my time. There's a lot of times my washing process. Oh goodness, girl. My washing process can take 3 days. Because of my busy schedule, because of the things that I already have to take care of, because I live alone and I got to cook for myself. So I can't slack off that day, and just not eat, and only do my hair. Like, I don't have a full day to give to my hair. So I have to break it up in steps. And so yesterday was the first process. Today, hopefully I'll get to detangle and shampoo, but we'll see. If not, we're going to, give ourselves grace, because I want to take my time and not rip my hair out. I want to take my time, and I'm still growing in that area anyway. Those frustrations are real. And so our tangles are knots. And so, but it's a point to remember the process and to take your time, because that's how you learn to have more hair, right? It's how you keep a hold and try to keep what is still in your head healthy. Or on your head, what is still on your head healthy. So But you know, those have been a lot of my struggles and things that even as being in the game for a long time, I'm still learning. I'm still making mistakes. And my hair tells me it's okay, but get it right next time. Is what she said. I know you've done this. That's okay, but get it right next time. So even to the point that I colored my hair in February. And so ever since, I've been using this special color shampoo, right? Color safe shampoo. But I've been noticing that it's not really cleansing my scalp and my hair very well because it's just protecting the color. And so this next time I planned, I was like, I gotta do a real cleanse because my hair is mad. Okay. And and in all honesty, if I want to keep healthy hair, it starts at the scalp. So I've got to keep a healthy scalp. If I'm just shampooing every 2 weeks with, you know, a color safe shampoo and I'm never taking the time to really get into my scalp and make sure that I'm getting all of that gunk and, you know, stuff off my hair and off my scalp, then I'm doing my hair a disservice. And it will start showing me that it's going to be limp. It's going to be, you know, unmoisturized. It's going to be brittle. It's going to, you know, it's going to show me, hey, excuse me, Alicia, you're not taking care of me. And I need you to, you know, give me more time.
Kind of like your plants when you come out.
That's what.
I love that. Sorry. That's hilarious. So it sounds like you have like a very close relationship to your hair, and there have been many people, several people in your life who have helped you to cultivate that. Wow. You've been answering my questions like all this time. So like it's
awesome.
So what, I guess it sounds to me like you are, where you're at in your journey is you are learning your hair, you're cultivating your hair, you're nourishing your hair, you're listening to your hair. You are keeping her happy.
Trying.
And trying to keep her happy. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it that, I mean, you talked about your two goals. One was healthy hair and one was locks. So I guess in the context of that, is it really a, you know, when I get to a certain point, I'm going to lock, or is it just, this is my goal that I'm working, you know what I mean? Like, do you,
when I get,
or is it an actual, like,
to have an actual date is probably not possible. Because I used to put a whole lot of restraints on me locking my hair too. Like, I've got to find the right professional, and it's got to be somebody who can really always work on my hair. I don't want multiple people in my head doing my locks, and you know, I had all these restraints on it. But in all honesty, it was just fear. It was fear of locking my hair and not, you know, not recognizing what versatility that I would still have with the locks. It's something that I've often, with my hair, I'll say, I've often been the person that was probably not following the trends. So So in other
really
words,
trendy now.
I wasn't the first person to do it in my family, right? Or I would be the first one to mention it, but then one of my sisters would step out and do it. And that's okay. You know, I also give myself grace in that area because I understand that we all have our own journeys, and you know, you have to make your own decision about what, and be firm about it. Okay. Don't be wishy-washy. You know, that's been my issue with locking my hair, that I've been wishing.
It's a commitment.
I'll even tell you, it's a commitment. And you know, well, I've had commitment issues in other places of my life, so it kind of makes sense that I would have it with my hair. So anyway, we're learning to commit to processes. Okay. But I guess what I would say is that there's really no timeline for me with the with the locking of my natural hair. It's just whenever I'm just sick of it. And I thought I was there earlier this year before I highlighted it. And I'd even told my sisters, because I was like, hey, I'm really just I'm just sick of it. I'm ready for something new. Let's see what we can think about, because they've locked their own hair. They've started the process to lock their own hair, and they've done micro locks. Okay. Which, funny, I was the first person in my family to mention it. Whenever I do have locks, they gonna be micro locks. And and I've noticed now 3 people in my family have gotten micro locks, and I still have natural hair. Anyway. And so I will even tell you where the vision for micro locks came from. I was watching Cool Runnings, and the wife of the first runner had micro locks. And I said, what is that? It's gorgeous. I want it. That's what I said. And I remember I told my youngest sister, I said, hey, her locks are what I want. Yeah. Or I was like, are those braids? And she said, no, sis, those are locks. She has micro locks or sister locks. They're really the same thing. It's just different technique. And I said, well, when I lock, that's what I'm doing. Because I've never been a fan of the larger locks. I don't want medium style. I definitely don't want freestyle. Like, at least I've narrowed it down to what type of locks I want. And I remember people asking me that, well, when you do lock, what do you want? What style do you want? Because there are multiple ways that you can lock your hair. And I was like, mind blown, had no idea. I thought all locks were equal. They're not. And that's okay. But what I decided was that those were the locks that I wanted. And I think what's holding me back is the knowledge that it is a commitment and I can't change it the next day. That I would have to go about this for a while. And I just have to be ready to make that commitment and to stay with it. Now, do I believe that my hair would be wonderful locked? I do, actually. And I think it would actually grow and be very fulfilling. This might be the one way that I'll be able to have long hair, because I wouldn't be messing with it every day, right? But I just have to make that decision. And once I'm ready to, I will. But for right now, the highlights have given me a new look.
Which is what you wanted.
Which is what I wanted. And I foresee myself soon locking, because I've gotten bored with the versatility. Just being honest. And even though I've done a lot with my own hair, I style it and all that, I just don't have the time to really commit to the things that I need to be committing to with my hair. And to, like, I don't have the time to wash my hair every week, which is something I probably should be doing, but I just don't have the time in my schedule to do it. And it's not fair to me or my hair to, put it through all the transitions without really taking care of it. So those have been things that I am recognizing and maturing to. That, just be honest. What do you have time for? And what do your sisters have time to help you with? Because I already bought some more braids, right? And I was really wanting to put braids in my hair. And I've got to get with the sister that does braids and see what she has time to do as well. And realistically, okay, when do we have time to do this? All of us collectively. So that's kind of where I'm at. But that's what I was saying. Since they have started the locking process on their own hair, I told them, well, after I highlight it, let's lock my hair too. That's what I told them back in January. We see it is now May, and I'm still not locked. Because after I got it highlighted, I went, oh, I love it. I want to see it. I was excited about the highlights and excited about what my hair was doing then, and how I was embracing that, and really loving the idea that I was able to highlight it again, and all the things. And so I don't know. I don't know what I want to do. I don't know. And there's no real timeline because to me, I will always be natural. And I've done a lot with straightening it or trying to straighten it, and it still, goes right back. No heat damage. Amen.
Yes.
but it's not, it's just, I will always say my hair does not like to be straight, and that is okay. I've learned to stretch it and to allow it to, look fuller or to make me happy, right, with walking out of my house. But in all honesty, I'm not going to have long, well, I don't want to say that. I could have long flowing locks, but I probably won't have long flowing tresses, and that's okay.
Okay.
Or coils or, curls,
Right.
And that's okay. Like they've typically grown to be about shoulder length, and that's about it. And that's okay. But yeah, so that's where I'm at. And that's what's keeping me from locking. Just me being in the way, nothing else.
Okay. So do you have any, cause you have very specific goals around locking. Do you have any specific goals around your loose natural hair? Like things that you want to see happen to, like you're not worried about growing it out. You got the highlights and you like that. And what do you have, or do you have any specific goals for what you want your natural hair to do or look like?
Just it being healthy is my main goal. Like if this was a couple years ago, I probably would have told you, well, I want to learn how to do more than just small twist on my hair and, to style it differently and, or to work with it to get curls and things and that of, that I see other naturals are able to do. But in all honesty, if I really want my hair to curl or to be, in a set style, other than like twist, then I'm gonna have to add heat to it. And I try not to add heat to my hair just because it went through so much trauma when I was putting heat to it all the time, or when I was wearing perms. So or relaxers, however you want to look at it. But anyway, but because I did so much trauma to it then, I made the decision that when I went natural, I would just really let it be free, do whatever you want. Now, do I add heat to it? Yeah, I do from time to time. Like I do have a blow dryer. And when my sister is about to braid my hair, we normally try to blow dry it straight just so it's a lot easier for her to braid up my hair and to do the things she needs to do, and doesn't take as long. And even then we don't try to strip my hair or make it super straight, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm having problems with my chair. It's scaring me.
It's okay.
but the point is that, I try to do as much as I can to make my hair as happy as I am with it.
Yeah. Oh, you're muted.
See?
There we go.
Chair. Okay, I might just stand. Chair's doing some weird things. Okay.
And muted again.
There we go. But anyway, so I try to not add heat to it. I try to, work around what I can and just to work with my hair, right, with the right products. And so those are the stages that I'm at. I know I've said that over and over again, but that's just that's where I'm at. And those are my goals with my natural hair. And I'm still learning to embrace it, but that's okay. I don't want to fault myself for where I was several years ago, because where I was several years ago was that do whatever you can to change your texture, right? Do whatever you can to, to make your hair look like someone else's. But I will tell you this, I've always gotten compliments on my hair. people have always told me, oh, I love your hair. And I'm like, do you see how frizzy it is today? Like, absolutely not. But they're just like, oh, it's just so pretty. And, you know, and this and the other. And I was like, if they can see the beauty of my hair, then I have to get there too. I can't stay in this place of not seeing that. And so I have grown accustomed to do that without weaves, without, you know, all the added abilities, just to see Alicia and her hair as what God has given me. But yeah, I think that answered the question. I'm trying to remember. But yeah,
I'm just getting the sense that, like, I mean, you have come a long way in your journey.
Even
like,
to
all those years you put in, like, even to, like,
even fighting my own family members, like immediate family and abroad. Like, you want to wear your hair like that? Yes, I do. Well, you know, I should just take you to my beautician real quick. Absolutely not, if they're not going to style my hair naturally. You know, I've had to put my foot down multiple times and, like, I've done it your way. My hair doesn't like it. And literally kept falling out. This is the way that I've actually gotten my hair to grow, is by letting it be a fro. Okay. So I just, you know, and granted, were there times that I was lazy? Oh yes, of course. But in all honesty, I even then had to learn how to stretch my hair and to manage it better than what I was doing in prior years and prior moments. Yeah. So yeah, all of the things.
Yes. Wow. So I guess this is just a, like, celebration, really, of all that you, because I'm just, as an outsider looking in and hearing your story, I'm seeing this beautiful relationship growing and developing, and it's flowering, and it, you know what I mean? And I see you being an advocate, and not just for yourself. I mean, when you are advocating for that girl who was being bullied, you know what I mean? Like, you weren't advocating for yourself at that time. But you've gotten to the place in your life where you are advocating for yourself and your hair. You know what I mean? Like, just the evolution is evident, I guess, is what I'm saying. And it's a beautiful, beautiful process. And I appreciate you sharing that with me. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate sharing.
No,
not a problem at all. I even talking to you today, like, I'm recognizing some things and I'm like, wow, you've really grown, because you didn't used to be able to say these things, or didn't used to be able to openly even take criticism when I needed to hear it, right? Girl, you ain't washed your hair in a month. Come on now. Come on. The wash and go process ain't working anymore. Come on. So, but all of these things have really, or just being able to share this really shows you where you're at, and how you can grow even more. You know, what are still my weaknesses, and how can I grow from even there, so that I'm not continuing a process of breakage and immanageability. That's probably not a word.
Unmanageable. I don't know either.
Of hair not being manageable. There it is. You know, and what can I do to, you know, to even help others that are still not proud? When we first started going to the church that we were going to, one of the women was clearly natural, and she would do, she cut off the sides of her hair, and she would wear, you know, twists and things of that nature, and it was always beautiful. I just thought it was beautiful, but I could tell that she wasn't as confident as we were. Well, and even I have a sister that has always worn weave, or, you know, things of the like, because her hair is, I don't want to say it's weaker, but I'll say that it is softer. It's a softer texture. And so she has to be really careful what she does with her hair, because every little thing affects it. I don't have that problem, thank God. But anyway, but you know, I recognize that she grew, this particular woman at our church grew strength and confidence by seeing us wearing our hair natural every day. Because what she was accustomed to before we got there was that everybody wore wigs, everybody put weave in their hair, everybody straightened their hair, everyone wore relaxers, you know, and she was probably the only person who did not. One of the only people, right? And so when we started coming in and I'm wearing my natural hair every week, or unless I style it some way, or, you know, put it in braids or this, that, and the other, you know, it gave her confidence to wear her hair and to twist it up every week and to, you know, wear it out or not to. And I recognize that even now she has some really cute locks in her hair, like a crochet, but it was the point that I recognized that by her seeing other women in church, you know, being natural, it helped her to embrace the natural too, fully. And you know, I will always tell, and I used to have conversations with her like, no, your hair is gorgeous. No, seriously. She's like, no, but yours is, please do not compare our hairs. Like, please don't do that to yourself, ma'am. I was like, your hair is great. Like, I love, and for her, she's gray and she's salt and peppered. So so just that differential in color, to me, it's beautiful. And you know, one day I will fully embrace salt and pepper look, but you know, today we're not doing that. So there it is. But yeah.
So if you would name or describe briefly your process, what would you say?
I guess the coils of me, or the coily, kinky me. Yeah. And even all of that with where coils go and the twists and turns and or the kinkiness, how it is jagged sometimes, you know, that is, but you learn to keep going in the journey, keep going along the strand, keep going in the journey. But yeah, that would be me.
Love it. I love it. You've had a lot of people in your life influence you for the good, especially, but you've also been an influence in other people's lives for the same. So it's just kind of been this like reciprocal relationship over time. And
and as the natural community will say, even on YouTube, we must encourage each other. You know, that's something that we have to grow to embrace what we have been given, and then learn how to manage it, you know. But yeah, it's a very real thing. It's very challenging at times. Work past the challenges. It will all work out.
Amen. Well, thank you for sharing that.
Thank you for taking this step, because we all need an advocate of some sort, to embrace what we have. And I believe if, you know, Black women start embracing, even Black men technically, but if you start embracing what you have, then you won't look at everyone else for an identity, you know. You learn to be your unique self.
No, I appreciate you saying that, because identity was one of the things that I felt like the Lord was guiding me to discuss. And I mean, you just hit the nail on the head right there. Absolutely.